Hi, I'm Cruiser Meg, and welcome to my cruise and travel channel. I recently returned from a cruise on Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas, and I thought I would share a trip report and review with you. My luggage and I flew from Newark Airport to Amsterdam via Copenhagen on SAS Airlines. After a couple of days in Amsterdam, I then made my way to Bologna, Italy, and finally on to Ravenna, where I would meet my ship. Why did I go to Amsterdam? Well, this girl who lives 30 miles away from this guy right here thought it would be fun to fly 4,000 to see him in concert. Did I make a great choice? Absolutely. I spent 3 nights at the Park Plaza Victoria in Amsterdam before I transferred over to the Sheraton Amsterdam Airport for a final night before my flight to Italy. Both of these hotels have great locations. They're very, very clean, very comfortable, and great staff. Amsterdam is a beautiful city. I highly recommend a visit if you can get there. And the best way to see Amsterdam is from the canal. I highly suggest that you take a canal cruise. Check reviews on TripAdvisor because some are better than the others. I would go back again. I had a fabulous time. I flew KLM Airlines from Amsterdam to Bologna, where I picked up a transfer to Ravenna. Ravenna has 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and these feature mosaics dating back to the 4th and 5th centuries. I eventually boarded Explorer of the Seas for my 7-night cruise to Greece and Montenegro. It's been a while since I've sailed Explorer, and I was excited to get back. We sailed to Kotor, Montenegro, which is a very, very pretty port, and I suggest the tuk-tuk tour. Next, we went to Corfu, Greece. This is a port where it's good to take an excursion as there's not a lot right near the port. Then on to Athens, where I spent the day exploring the city, as I've been there before. Athens is beautiful and there's lots of great food. Then on to Mykonos, which is one of the most stunning places that I've ever seen. It is a little bit expensive, but there are beautiful beaches, plenty of little side streets to wander around, great places to eat, and the tender ride back to the ship is a ton of fun. Finally, we went to Argostoli in Greece. Again, this is another place to take an excursion. I saw a lot of big yachts and a few hotels and not much else. After the cruise, I took Royal Caribbean's transfer to Venice City Center, also known as Trunchetto, where I pre-booked a water taxi to take me to my hotel located near the Rialto Bridge. Venice is great, and yes, I even did a gondola ride. How can you not when you're in Venice? One thing to remember is that there's a pretty big distance between the port in Ravenna and Venice or Bologna. While in Ravenna, I stayed at La Casa di San Vitale, or rather I tried. It's a very small hotel, just 6 rooms, and it does not have a 24-hour-a-day staff. It was very, very hot. So around 9 o'clock that night, I moved to the NH Ravenna. This is a newer hotel with a conventional hotel staff. And again, I could not get the room cold enough for my liking. But it was close to where the shuttle would pick me up the next day to take me to Porto Corsini, where we dropped our luggage, checked in, waited a little while, and eventually we were invited to make our way to the ship. It was just a short walk from the terminal to the gangway, and once again I was excited to be walking on board the beautiful and just refreshed Explorer of the Seas. After a few moments of exploring the ship and then some time out for lunch, our cabins were ready. My cabin was located on deck 8, port side, right in the center. 8618 is a balcony cabin that holds 2 guests. The bathroom is very nice. There's some storage space in the corner cabinets next to the mirror and underneath the sink. Also, the shower has the handy transport tube glass doors to close, as opposed to the attack shower curtain that we're all familiar with from older, smaller ships. As for closet space, there's plenty of room, at least there was for me. I am a compulsive overpacker. I will say that I removed the 2 life jackets and put them on the shelf above the closet to make some more space because I needed every inch that I had. There's my desk and my amenities. This cabin has a love seat, not a standard size sofa. And while they did a nice job with the renovations of the cabin, they did not add any extra outlets, which is a little bit annoying. There's some cabinets adjacent to the desk, as well as a safe, a cooler / mini bar. It doesn't get your drinks very cold, but it'll do. And there's also some storage space next to the mirror by the desk. Even though the bed looks lumpy and uncomfortable, I slept fairly well. The best part of the cabin, of course, is the balcony with brand new, comfortable furniture, 2 chairs, 2 footrests, and a standard height table. I really appreciated the table because I was able to have some breakfast out there, as well as enjoy a nice glass of wine as we were sailing out of our ports. All in all, I was really happy with my cabin. Great location. Highly recommend. Now, can we skip to the good stuff? Yes, we can. Food and beverage. Between the buffets, the main dining room, and the specialty restaurants, if you go hungry on a cruise, you are doing it wrong. I had a lot of great food. Let's take a look at some of the different outlets on Explorer of the Seas. First off, there's Cafe Promenade, which is complimentary and it's available 24/7. You can get food almost that entire time. Also, you will find Ben & Jerry's ice cream, which is an extra charge. And next, we have Windjammer Marketplace Buffet. One thing they did add during the dry dock was a bar. That was something that was introduced in Windjammer on Freedom class ships. Windjammer serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner daily, as well as snacks throughout the day. You'll also find freestyle Coke machines. Make sure you walk all around the buffet, as not everything is available at every station. The main dining room is called Sapphire Dining Room, and it is located on decks 3, 4, and 5 of the ship. You'll be able to take advantage of either traditional or My Time dining. Sapphire Dining Room serves breakfast and dinner daily and lunch on sea days. You want to make sure that you check your cruise compass or the app to find out what their opening hours are. I will say that everything I had was served at the proper temperature, was tasty. I didn't have to send anything back. Those of you who followed me for a while may know that I like my food to be hot if it's supposed to be hot, or cold if it's supposed to be cold. And I will nicely ask a server to replace it if something is not to my liking. If you love Italian food, you'll want to check out Giovanni's table. From fresh pastas to steak to seafood and ossobuco, there's something here for everyone. My meal here was phenomenal. I actually wound up going twice. Some of the highlights are the minestrone soup, which was very, very good. And then I tried pasta bolognese, which was also very good. And I was looking forward to eating good pasta in Italy. The cannoli are wonderful, and if you can't decide on dessert, order 2. I also had the tiramisu. Excellent. The meatitarians in the crowd will love Chops Grill. This is your steakhouse. Again, it's a specialty restaurant, extra charge. If you would like to get filet mignon or porterhouse, strip steak, lamb chops, they also do serve fish as well. This is the place for you. My filet here was one of the best I've ever had. I ordered my wedge salad without blue cheese because I don't like cheese. Anyway, the filet was perfectly cooked and delicious. The Gruyere tater tots, do not miss them. And once again, I'm indecisive, so I had to have both apple pie and warm chocolate cake. And they were both great. I did not have a chance to try Izumi. Honestly, it's the sushi restaurant. I'm not a fan of sushi. It's a la carte, from what I understand. It is excellent. I have had some things from Izumi on other ships, and they've all been really good. Johnny Rockets is another a la carte restaurant, open for late lunch and dinner. This ship, they do not serve breakfast. It's a la carte, though, and it's very good. If you're thirsty, and who's not, check out one of the many bars and entertainment venues. This is the Star Lounge, formerly known as Maharaja's. Another popular spot is the Schooner Bar. It's great to stop on your way to or from the theater or before or after dinner. They hold trivia here, as well as you'll find the piano player, great bartenders, and really, really good drinks, from espresso martinis with or without Baileys to Hennessy Old Fashions. These are really good. And a throwback drink, which is a sidecar. And did I mention the piano player? Take a look and a listen. Up on deck 14, you will find the Viking Crown Lounge, also known as Dizzy's. This will function as the nightclub, since the nightclub was removed several years ago when they put in the specialty restaurants. Also, you'll find the Diamond Club, which is an exclusive amenity for Diamond, Diamond Plus, and Pinnacle members of the Royal Caribbean Crown and Anchor Society loyalty program. You can come in here with your key card and get free specialty coffees, a light continental breakfast, hors d'oeuvres and cocktails in the evening, and interestingly enough, Explorer of the Seas has light lunch, little sandwiches during the day. Just off the Royal Promenade, you'll find the R Bar, which was formerly known as the Champagne Bar. This is a great spot for craft cocktails, relaxation, and people watching. I'm a fan of the Blue Cosmo because it's blue, and cool as a cucumber because gin. A new venue on Explorer of the Seas is the Tavern. This was previously known as Bolero's, which was the Latin bar. It is now the Sports Bar. So if you want to watch the big game, come down here and get here early. They were showing a football match, and it was packed. Finally, we have the Crown and Kettle Pub, also on the Royal Promenade. Royal Caribbean standard, and it's a great place to hang out. And now for a few closing thoughts. I really had a fabulous time. Was it a perfect cruise? It was darn close. It was fabulous. My cabin attendant was great. The food was great. I didn't really have any issues. I just was very, very, very tired, so I didn't do as much as I had expected. These are the new water slides. No, I had no intention of checking them out. And I also had no intention of checking out the flow rider. Although I did watch people try to surf. This guy was actually pretty good. You can get private sessions, and you can also get private lessons. Entertainment-wise, I didn't make it to the ice show. That's held right here in Studio B. I did see a couple of the other shows, and I will go over that in some of the activities in other videos. I enjoyed just walking around the decks when there was no one else on the ship. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's a great time to get photos and videos, and to just enjoy being on a ship at sea in great ports of call. I did not swim. This is the solarium pool, which is for adults, older teens. I think it's like 16 and up. This is the main pool. They do show videos and movies on the large screen that you can't really see. The casino was very friendly. I was very happy. The Wi-Fi was pretty good. It's Starlink. It worked reasonably well, although this is an older ship, so it's harder to find a really strong connection. Once we got back to Ravenna, I exited the ship, found my transfer, and off I went to Venice. Thanks for tuning in. No matter how many times I see this show on a ship, I tear up. Have a great night.